All right, thank you for joining us today. And in this video, we are going to practice on finding the inverse of a function. It's always good for you to practice when you learn something new, because if you don't put into practice, you are going to what? Forget. I love this quote from Franklin Benjamin. He said, tell me and I'll forget, right? Teach me and I may learn, but involve me and I'll learn. So we are going to, whilst I'm teaching you, I just want to involve you by doing practice, by making sure that you solve examples, right? So what we are going to do is, now we want to practice, and as we are practice as we are practicing, I'm going to involve you in leaving some questions so that you can try it on your own, right? Practice, 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 right? All right, so now let's start with, we want to find the inverse of this function right here. Whew, the function looks so complicated, but it is fine. There is something small that we need to do, then we can go. So anytime they give you a question and they said find the inverse, don't be in a haste, because you know the procedures. You let y is equal to this and you start solving it. No, that is not how we do it. Make sure make sure you look at the question, think about it, and see if you have to do anything before you get started, right? So we know that the first step is to let y equals to, so let y equals to f of x. So we are going to have y to be equal to 3 minus 6x plus 5 divided by 3 minus x, 8x plus 6 minus 4, right? So we know the next step is to interchange x and y. But let's look at function. See that the function look complicated. So let's try and see if we can do something. Now we can see that the base here is 3 and the base here too is 3. Did you find out that? Good. So that is the idea. So we can use the law of indices to make sure we simplify this equation. Now we know that from law of indices, if I have a to the power m divided by a to the power n, this is equal to a to the power m minus what? N. So we can use that idea to simplify this, right? So that the calculation will be very simple for us. So let's see what we can do. We can say that y is equal to 3 to the power negative 6x plus 5 minus, then I put it into parentheses. In math, anytime I write minus, you need to make sure you put the next thing that you are going to write in parentheses, because minus is very, let me say, it's something that will make you make like a slight mistake, very, like you just make a mistake in maybe multiplying the minus through a function or something like that, and it will just take you down, like making sure that your answer is what? Wrong. So make sure anytime you write minus, parentheses. So now we are going to have minus 8x plus 6. So this is our a, this is our m, and this is our n. So m minus n. So that's what we are going to do. That's what we are going to have. So let me shift this one small, minus the 4. Going to give us, so this is going to give us 3 minus 6x plus 5 minus, so minus minus will be positive, which will be 8x. Then when I multiply the minus by the 6, I get minus 6 minus 4. So let's simplify. I have 6x, negative 6x, and positive 6x. So that one will give me 2x. Then 5 minus 6 is 1. So minus 4. So you see that now the function is so simple. Like we were able to simplify the function, and we are getting a simple function that we can deal with. So now since we have this function, now we can interchange x and y, then we solve for y. So interchange x and y, we are going to have x is equal to 3, 2y minus 1 minus 4. Now we need to make y here the subject. So first we need to move this one. So here we can add plus 4, add plus 4. So plus 4 will cancel plus 4. And we are going to have this on the right and then x plus 4 on the left. Or we can say move negative 4 here, and when it cross this one, it become positive. So it's also the same thing. So we are going to have x plus 4, which is equal to 3, 2y minus 1, right? So that's what we are going to have. Now we want to make y the subject, but we can see that this is an exponential function. This is on the top. So what we would need to do is we are going to make sure we take log, right? We are going to take log. Anytime we want to make something the subject and is on the top, we take log. But here, the trick is when we are taking the log, because we want to make sure that this guy here comes down, we need to take log to the base, the function here, or the value here, right? So here we are going to take log to the base 3 because of this. Because we know that log of a is equal to 1, right? So we need to make sure that the base and this is the same. So since this is 3, for us to get to 1, then we need to make sure that we pick log of 3, log to the base 3. So let's take log to the base 3 on both sides. So log of base 3 x plus 4, which is equal to log of 3 2y minus 1. Good. So we know from log, third law of logarithm, that if I have log of a to, let's say, b to the power x, this is the same as x log of ab, right? So I can take this one behind the log because of the third law and then use that. So this is going to give us 2y minus 1 log of 3 base 3. So you see the reason why we took to the base 3, so that now this one can be 1, right? Log of 3 base 3 is 1, right? So this is going to give us log 3 base 3 x plus 4 to be equal to 2y minus 1, all times 1. So this is all times 1 because that one is equal to 1, right? So now let's try and then simplify. X plus 4 is equal to 2y minus 1, right? Then we need to make y the subject. So we need to move this guy. So we add plus 1 so that this will cancel it and we add plus 1 to this. Or we move the negative 1 to this side. The same thing. So we are going to have 2y to be equal to log 3 x plus 4. Then when you move the negative 1, it becomes plus 1. Don't confuse yourself the way I've interchanged the thing. I just moved this one this way, but I just brought this one to the left, the 2y to the left, and this one to the right. Is the same thing. So this is going to give us, now we need to make y the subject by dividing 2 by 2, right? So we are going to have y to be equal to log base 3 x plus 1 all divided by 2. So the f inverse of x is going to be log base 3 x plus 1 divided by 2. So this is the inverse of the function. This is the inverse of the function. So now I think I have another example here. So this one, you can pause the video and do what? Try, okay? Because I'm going to go fast, okay? My videos are nowadays becoming long. I promise you guys that the videos are going to be short, but I think I need to solve more examples. So yeah. So now let's look at how we can do this one too. So first we let y to be equal to gen of x. So you can pause the video and try. And then y is equal to 5 4x plus 1 divided by 2. So, can we use indices here? No, because this is 2, this is 5, so it's not the same. So the next thing that we need to do is just interchange x and y. So x will be equal to 5 4y plus 1 divided by 2. Then we make y the subject. So now we can multiply this one to this, which we are going to have 2x to be equal to 5 4y plus 1. Then we are making y the subject, so we need to move the 1. So minus 1 here, minus 1 here. Is that right? So we are going to have 2x minus 1 is equal to, so minus 1 here will cancel this one. So we are going to have 5y, no, 5 4 to the power y, 5 to the power 4y, sorry. So this is what we are going to have. So the idea comes in, since this is an exponent, I'm going to take the log, but I take the log to the base 5. So other one here was 3. So we took the log to the base 3. But this is 5, so we need to make sure it is 5. So I'm going to take log to the base 5, 2x minus 1, log to the base 5. 5, 2x plus 1 is equal to, so third law, so this will be log 5, 5, right? So we are going to have log 5, log to the base 5, 2x plus 1 to be equal to 4y. And the 1, this one here is going to give us 1. So we are going to have log base 5, 2x plus 1 is equal to 4y. So making y the subject, I divide this one by 4, I divide this one by 4. So we are going to have y to be equal to log base 5, 2x plus 1, all divided by 4. And this is the inverse of the function. Very simple. So make y the subject, simplify by making y the subject, and your final simplification is your inverse. Let's take the last example from this video. So now same thing, let's go through quick. Let y to be equal to gen of x, right? So we are going to have y to be equal to e to the power x minus 1. Good. Now you can see that we said anytime you have an exponential function, okay, so let me interchange x and y before I talk about this. This is y minus 1, so I've interchanged x and y. So this is also an exponential function, so we need to pick log to the base what? E, right? Log to the base e. But anytime, sometimes when we have e as the base, mostly we prefer using the len, right? But we can also pick um, log to the base e, but know that log to the base e is the same as the natural log, right? Like the len. So instead of picking um, log to the base e, I prefer taking len, right? Unless maybe you are taking objectives. As I said, when you are taking objective, the first thing that you need to do is check the final answer before you solve. So if the final answer is in terms of this, then this one is best for you to pick log to the base e. If the final answer is in terms of len, then you choose len. But this one, because of the e, I'll pick the len. So I'll pick len on both sides. Good. So this is going to give me len x to be equal to y minus 1 in parentheses this. And this here is going to give us 1. So we are going to have len x to be equal to y minus 1 times 1. Len x is equal to y minus 1. I make y the subject by adding plus 1 plus 1. So I'm going to have y to be equal to len x plus 1. So this is gen inverse of x, which is equal to this. I think this video is supposed to be gen inverse instead of f inverse, right? Gen inverse. Good. So if you have any question, drop it in the comment section. If you find a question is so interesting, you can I'll try and put my email in the comment section. You can send your question to the email, and then I'll do video on it so that all your friends can enjoy. See you in the next video. And guess what? In the next video, I have like 3 more examples that we are going to practice on. So see you in the next video.